Hi there, I'm Lisa Kramer, and I'm a professor of finance at the Rotman School of Management. My expertise is in the area of behavioral finance, and I'm here to answer your questions about investor behavior. Welcome to my office hours. What does it mean to be an overconfident investor? Well, one definition of overconfidence is having an inflated idea of your own abilities. So you might think you're an amazing investor, but you might not be so hot. You might be trying to buy low and sell high, and you might be trading really frequently, thinking that you're outsmarting markets by locking in the best prices at the best times. But in execution, you might actually end up buying high and selling low, plus paying a whole bunch in commission fees. So through a combination of trading too much, maybe not getting great prices, and paying a lot of commission fees potentially, they end up really underperforming the market. And this is not great for them in the long term. Their investment returns in the end can end up being a lot worse than if they just simply adopted a buy and hold strategy. If you're wondering how to tell if you're an overconfident investor, it can be a little bit tricky. Often I find people who are questioning, am I an overconfident investor? Those are the ones who are introspective and are kind of less likely to be overconfident. It's the ones who overconfidently assert, I am not an overconfident investor. Those are the ones that I find tend to be overconfident. You're telling me daylight savings makes me a worse investor? Does it really surprise you that when you're sleep deprived, you might not make the best investment decisions? My co-authors and I, we took a look at financial markets, a bunch of different countries, and we examined the times of the year when the clock is changed, either an hour ahead or an hour back. And on the trading day following the time changes, financial markets tend to perform a lot worse than normal. After the clocks change, psychologists tell us that we're experiencing sleep desynchronisis. This is just a fancy way of saying that our sleep has been interrupted. We're experiencing a change in our sleep patterns. Consequently, we believe investors are feeling more anxious on the first trading day after the time change. And essentially, if investors are anxious while they're trying to trade, they are more reluctant to buy risky stock and more likely to sell risky stock. And this ends up with markets taking a tumble. Now, I hope you don't take any of that as trading advice. You shouldn't run out and try to time your trades based on empirical findings like this. There's no way to know ahead of time what might happen on any given trading day. This is just kind of a fun result. Do the seasons really change the way I make investment decisions? They absolutely can. You've probably heard of seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, or SAD, which affects about 10% of the population, leading to severe depression in the fall and winter seasons when daylight exposure is reduced. Some research that a collaborator and I did suggests it's not only those who experience severe depression who are affected, but also most of us more broadly experience something milder like winter blues. Psychologists and economists, like me, have found that when people are depressed, they're also more averse to financial risk. So we actually have seasonally varying preferences for holding different kinds of financial products, depending on how risky they are. And what we find is during the fall and winter season, when people are less interested in facing risk, they have a reduced appetite for holding risky stocks. This leads to pretty big swings in the rate of return investors can earn across different seasons. Another implication of this is that the time when economic news arrives can really affect the way it lands. So think about some bad economic news that arrives in the fall when lots of people are becoming more depressed and more risk averse. This is likely to lead to a very different response in markets than if the same economic news arrives in the spring. My co-authors and I think this helps to explain why stock market crashes are much more likely to occur in the fall. And I really don't want to suggest that anybody try to market time based on these patterns. We do find very large differences in the rates of return across different seasons over long periods of time. But in any given year, on any given day of any given season, there's no saying what might happen. So a buy and hold strategy is really still the best approach. Explain it like I'm 5. Why do people buy meme stocks like GameStop? 2 words, FOMO and YOLO. FOMO, fear of missing out. When you see your neighbor who bought a meme stock now has a shiny red Porsche in their driveway. That can just be so tantalizing. And it's just human nature. You want to copy what they did, and you figure you're going to get the same outcome. In reality, of course, your results may vary. Just because when they bought it, it went up, it doesn't mean you're going to have the same experience. They've also probably curated the story that they told you. They might not be telling you about all the other meme stocks they bought that went down in value. So we just have to be really careful with that. YOLO, you only live once. It can be super exciting and fun to buy meme stocks. People love fun and exciting. And so it's just natural to be drawn to opportunities like that, even if they're not financially sound. Just remember, stocks can go up and stocks can go down. Just because something went up in the past doesn't mean it's going to keep doing that. So please be careful out there. How will AI change the way we make investment choices? Well, I think we're going to see AI deployed more frequently by financial institutions to help people make better decisions. A lot of choice architecture is designed in a way that tries to get people to make a choice that's in the best interest of most people. But we're not all the same, and AI can be used to take account of our individual characteristics like our age, our income, our wealth, how many kids we do or don't have, and whether we plan on paying for their education someday. So think, for example, of nudges that are designed to help people become automatically enrolled in retirement savings plans. The automatic enrollment rate is usually selected to be beneficial to most investors, but there might be some investors who could be better off with a different automatic enrollment rate. Another potential application of artificial intelligence in designing nudges to help investors could tackle the really thorny and understudied problem of decumulation. Decumulation is the problem we'll all hopefully face one day when we enter retirement and have to figure out how quickly to spend down our retirement savings. This is in part really difficult because it's difficult to forecast when any individual is going to pass away. So without knowing how long we're going to live, it's difficult to know how much to spend in any given year. But AI could, again, take account of our personal information, perhaps including our different health risks, and certainly the amount of money that we have saved and our usual spending habits to help us develop the optimal decumulation plan that's customized for us as an individual. There are also some important privacy considerations that I'm hoping financial institutions take account of when they deploy artificial intelligence. When we're talking about using individuals' personal information, there's some privacy risks that come up, and I just hope that institutions properly balance all the benefits with the potential risks that arise when working with people's very private information. Can the average low or middle income person make any sort of impact in the market? This is a great question. It can definitely be tricky as a low or middle income investor to navigate markets. But I think rather than trying to make an impact on the market, it can be worthwhile to consider how to hack markets to lead to the best outcome for yourself. So some of the things that come to mind are invest early. Start putting money away as soon as you can to give yourself time to let the money compound up over the longest period possible. Invest often and don't try to market time. Just keep putting money in regularly. Don't worry about whether markets are high or low at any given point in time. Just keep putting the money in. And keep an eye on fees. The impact of fees on your financial performance can be remarkable. I'll just walk through a simple mathematical example. Imagine putting $1,000 away every year for the next 30 years. If you're earning a 6% rate of return each year on average, then after 30 years, you'll have $85,000, roughly. If you're paying 2% in fees every year, then after 30 years, instead of having $85,000, you'll have less than $60,000. Imagine that, a $25,000 difference over 30 years. It's huge. So really keep an eye on the fees. They can make a big difference. Goal, save more money. reality, buy more things. Is there some magic strategy I'm missing? Not at all. This is human nature. We want more stuff. We want it now. It's just deeply ingrained that immediate gratification is high on our priority list. So sacrificing present spending for our future retirement needs is really, really difficult for a lot of people. One reason is just maybe we have a lack of empathy for our future self. This is supported by research done by a psychologist at UCLA. His name is Hal Hershfield, and he calls that future version of yourself in retirement your future self. It's a really clever name. He's done work showing that if you help shorten the distance between yourself today and that version of yourself in retirement, you can actually have an easier time saving more money today. The way he achieved this in some experiments was by showing people digitally aged photographs of themselves. So imagine me with much more gray hair and more wrinkles. This could make me much more empathetic to my future self and cause me to do a better job sacrificing present consumption for me later in life. So you're saying I shouldn't put all my money in Bitcoin? Bitcoin can be great for entertainment purposes, just like buying a lottery ticket, but it is not an investment strategy. Some people put a little bit of money in different cryptocurrencies, but only the amount that they can reasonably expect to lose. If you're putting more money into risky prospects like this than you could really comfortably walk away from, you are taking too much risk. Cryptocurrencies can be wildly volatile. They can go up a lot. They can go all the way down to zero. And you don't want to be stuck in that position. So if you put a little bit of money in just for fun, maybe one day you'll come back to me and show me how much money you have. That'll be great for you. But please don't bet the farm. It can really go badly. Is it me, or are investor platforms increasingly gamifying the experience? Why not just declare yourself a casino at that point? So gamification itself is neither good nor bad. It's the application of gamification that can either be helpful or harmful to investors. I've seen some investment platforms that sprinkle the screen with confetti every time an investor trades. This can be a lot of fun, definitely dopamine squirting in the brain. But ask yourself, who is standing to benefit from this gamified environment? The brokerage firm probably likes you to trade a lot. They maybe make commissions every time you trade. We know investors who trade a lot often end up underperforming a buy and hold portfolio. Neither of these two things is working in your favor as an investor. A potential good application of gamification in an investment platform could be earning badges when an investor does something that's in their own best interest, such as holding a well-diversified portfolio or completing investor education tutorials. So when you see gamification in an investment platform, just make sure you know which game you're playing and who stands to benefit. That's it for questions today. If you want to learn more about investor behavior and best practices, click the link below to subscribe to the Rotman Insights Hub. Thanks for tuning in.